Hey guys, it's Naz. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any more of my uploads, and it would really make my day. Today, I'm going to be talking about how I cleared my skin and got it from looking like this to this. So the answer to that is Accutane. So I'm just gonna be going over like my whole Accutane experience. I'm gonna go over side effects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything about it, my skincare as well. I'm gonna give you some recommendations for what skincare products to use and like what helped me. And I'm just gonna talk about how the experience was, because I feel like it affects everyone differently, and these side effects aren't like a cookie cutter type of thing. Like not everyone is gonna have the same experience. I know some people have like a really bad experience with it and need to come off of it just because of how strong the drug is and how bad the side effects can get. And then some people have like a fairly easy journey. I would say mine was a little bit rough. I feel like it definitely could have been worse, but it was definitely really up there in terms of it not being pleasant. I know depression is one of the side effects that a lot of people encounter and is the reason why people come off of it, and that is what I encountered. But I did not come off of it because if I was gonna be depressed, I at least wanted clear skin. You would also think that, you know, you might not get depressed. Like me going into it, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get depressed because my skin's gonna be clear. I've wanted this for so long. I'm so miserable with how my skin looked at the time, and I was like, this is gonna make me so happy, which it did. But then other stuff happened and it was, you know, a mess, but we're gonna get into that. So to start off, I'm gonna give a little bit of background on my skin, when I got acne, yada yada. So as of right now, I am 2 years post Accutane. I was fortunate enough to have my acne not ever come back, knock on wood. I still do get pimples here and there, but they're not anywhere near as bad as when I did have like really bad acne. When I did have it, it would be like really big, red, cystic, not good. The timeline of how my acne progressed, I will show pictures of before and insert them here. My acne started freshman year of high school, like middle way of, and then it just got worse as each year went on. It was at its absolutely like peak worst my freshman year of college. I literally couldn't go to the dining hall without wearing makeup. Like I wore makeup every single day, and if I did go to like the cafe without wearing makeup, I would put on like a baseball cap and just try to keep my head down and not see anyone that I know, or like make eye contact or be socializing, because I felt that uncomfortable in my skin. I felt horrendous. Like I felt so ugly, if I'm being honest. And please don't take this in the wrong way. I'm not saying acne makes you ugly or horrendous or whatever. That is just how I personally felt. I did not feel good. Acne is a very huge stab to your self-confidence, and I just never felt confident. Even when I did wear makeup, I didn't feel confident or pretty, because you can't hide texture with makeup. If anything, it accentuates it even more. But yeah, so it was at a very, very bad point, and then I was like, okay, this is way too much. I feel like this is interrupting my every single day life. Like this is the only thing that I could think about. I know it's not the absolute worst possible, but for me, I just couldn't handle it. And I know it's very good to not cover up acne, and I know there's a lot of people saying like, oh, like embrace it, don't let it get to you. I just was someone who couldn't do that, and my take on it was just that I didn't want to embrace it, and I didn't want to be happy about it, even though you should be, and that's a good way to look at it. But for me, I couldn't, because I was like, this isn't my skin. This isn't me. Acne isn't me. You know, it's not like I was born with it. It's not like, you know, it's like your eyebrows or like, I don't know, like your nose or something like that. Like it's not your skin. It's something that is covering your skin. And that's how I felt. Like I felt I couldn't really be seen because I had all this shit on my face that was covering it, and just made me feel so insecure. But like I said, it's always really good to be positive about it and embrace acne and not try to hide it, kind of remove that stigma around it, I guess. But for me personally, I couldn't, because I was like, this isn't my skin, this isn't me, and I want me to shine through when I want to see my own skin. which is what this is now. Like, it was something that was interrupting everything that was going on in my body. Like, there was something wrong with it, which is why I got acne, if that makes sense. Obviously, you know, maybe not the best way to look at it. That's just what my take on it was, and the reason for going on Accutane and being so miserable and insecure about it. So then I finally went to a dermatologist and they gave me antibiotics. I definitely have the name of it somewhere. If I find the names of whatever I was put on before Accutane, I will insert them here. Those did not work for me at all whatsoever. So after that, Accutane, you know, becomes a topic of discussion. It's the last resort. When you have acne and you go to a dermatologist, like, they don't really want to put you on it unless you absolutely need it and nothing else worked. But for me, nothing else worked. So I was like, put me on that right now. And you have to go through a lot of blood work. It's like a long process. It's just like a lot of work to do because every single month you have to get blood work done. You have to check to make sure your liver and everything else inside of you is all well and functioning, because like I said, it is a very strong drug and it is hard on your liver. So you cannot drink alcohol when you are on it because it'll just be too much. And I did end up drinking just like a little bit. I never got like super wasted, or I didn't drink like often or heavy, but I was fine and my blood work came out fine. So if you do have like, I don't know, maybe a drink here or there, you won't die, you'll be fine, but like you shouldn't drink like you're not supposed to. And also you need to be on 2 forms of birth control. One of them has to be like the pill, IUD, some sort like that, and then the other one is a condom. You also have to do this thing online called I Pledge, and you basically have to pledge to, you know, follow the rules of Accutane and not get pregnant, because if you do, your baby will come out deformed. So you just cannot get pregnant at all on this. That's the whole like process for actually being on it. So I know some people are on it for like different period of times. I was on it for 6 months. I know I've heard you can do like a lower dose for a longer amount of time. I just stuck with the traditional 6 months. I feel like that's what a lot of people end up doing. So now we skip forward to me actually being on Accutane. I'm just gonna explain this kind of like side effects as the months went on and as my dose got higher. Month 1, I was on 20 milligrams. That was easy breezy, beautiful. Didn't really feel anything. The first week is when I would like wash my face and I would see like little like white spots on my face because my face would be dry. But as soon as I put moisturizer on, it would be perfectly fine. It didn't feel tight or dry afterwards, and that was pretty much it for that whole entire first month. And I also was able to work out during the first month. Then the second month, I got bumped up to 60 milligrams, and this is when I started feeling a few side effects. So muscle pain pretty much started the first day that I took my dose of month 2. After the first week of month 2, I could not work out anymore. I remember I was doing a workout that I've done like multiple times over and over again. Like, it wasn't a super hard workout that I was trying for the first time. Like, I know I was capable of doing this workout. Just that day, like, I could barely get through it. I was so tired. It took like more energy out of me to do it. I was just so much more fatigued at the end of it. I was like, I cannot do this. So after week 1, I stopped working out. I literally couldn't do it. The last week of month 2 is when I started getting back pain when I would go to bed. And this back pain continues for the rest of my journey, and it got really bad. Like, literally just laying down to go to bed at night hurt my back. On month 3, I got bumped up to 80 milligrams and I stayed at 80 until month 6. This is where everything really started kicking. Like, muscle pain just kept on getting worse and worse. My skin was looking great. Like, I did see a lot of improvement, but I also saw other changes, like other side effects. Appetite was one of them. I think the side effects regarding appetite is either that you have an increased appetite or you have like no appetite at all. And of course, I had no appetite at all whatsoever. You need to take your pill with a big, fatty, heavy meal, and I wasn't able to do that. So I also think this is why I felt side effects a little bit more, maybe because I like literally wasn't really eating as much as I needed to be on this. Nothing seemed like good to me, and I love food. Anyone who knows me knows that I absolutely love food. If we are going anywhere, I'm like, when are we eating breakfast? When are we eating lunch? When are we eating dinner? Like, I absolutely love food. I find joy in eating food. Like, I live to eat. I don't eat to live. But throughout this time, I hated food. I literally couldn't finish a single plate of any of my meals. I couldn't finish anything at all completely. And normally I scoop that up, like it is no problem, but it was impossible. I honestly would have much rather have had like an increased appetite. If I gained a few pounds, like I would have rather have that, honestly, because I feel like it's the better end of the stick. During month 4, this was like really, really bad. I feel like this is the time where my side effects were like at an all-time bad, and it just stayed there until month 6, or like until after I got off of Accutane. Dry skin that increased even more. I feel like probably during month 3, where I was like, oh, I really need to like up my skincare and get more things. But one of the best, absolute best side effects of Accutane was that since it takes out all the oil from your skin, one, it was amazing to do makeup because my makeup didn't become oily. Like it looked the same as when I did it like 10 hours later. So that was phenomenal. And I had a very, very oily skin beforehand. I just had to moisturize a lot, which I would rather have than oily skin. And then also the best part was that my hair produced no oil. I could go 2 weeks without washing it. I didn't go 2 weeks without washing it. I probably washed it like once a week, maybe like a week and some, but like it literally had no oil on my hair whatsoever, which was so amazing because my hair, it takes a lot of work. If I need to go somewhere, like I need to schedule when I'm gonna wash my hair. Moving on to the bad side effects. Month 4, I got a job at Hollister. During my first shift, it was only 4 hours long. Like that is not a long time for a shift. You know, you're walking around, you're standing up, you're never sitting. So my legs and my back were absolutely killing me. Like I remember this day vividly because I kept on looking at the time for when I had to go home because I was in so much pain. My muscle pain was so bad, and I had to bend down to like fold jeans and put them in shelves and stuff. And it was so awful bending down and getting back up that literally when I left the mall, I parked like quite far, and I was like, why the hell did I do this? Because just to walk in the parking lot to go to my car was a struggle. I was like literally limping. Like if you were to have seen me walk across that parking lot, you would think I like sprained my ankle or something. You would have been like, is this girl okay? Does she have a broken leg? It was that bad. And when I went home, I just immediately laid down because like I literally couldn't walk. Like my joints hurt that bad. You also have to drink a lot of water on Accutane. I tried my best, but I definitely could have done a lot better. Definitely drink as much water as you can because that will definitely help with just keeping everything flowing that you need to be flowing in your body. But yeah, muscle pain was something that was so horrendous for me. I would say is probably like the #1 worst side effect, like in terms of like physical side effects. Actually, was it? No, probably this next one that I'm going to tell you was probably the worst. I had such a bad case of dry eyes. I kid you not, there were days where I couldn't go outside. It was that bad. I remember I moved into my college apartment and there were like big windows everywhere. It was horrible for me. I would go out into like the living room kitchen area and there's like windows, basically like the entirety of like this one wall, which normally is perfectly fine for any normal being. For me, it was terrible. Like I literally could not stay in the kitchen because of just the sunlight that was there. Even if it wasn't a sunny day, just the light literally burned my eyes so bad that I wore sunglasses inside, and even then it was painful. Like my eyes literally hurt. Like it felt like there were like needles in my eyes. Like it was really bad. Like not even sunlight, but like just regular light, like store lights, hurt my eyes so bad. I was so miserable. I was in so much pain. I literally could not go outside because of how sensitive my eyes were to light, which was just crazy. Like I literally could not see. I'm already blind. Like I already need glasses and contacts, and then on top of that I couldn't freaking see because my eyes were so sensitive. It was also another struggle because I like absolutely needed sunglasses indoors and outdoors, but putting on contacts when my eyes were that sensitive to light, like just absolutely hurt. It was not a good feeling at all. Like I could feel my contact and it would be very uncomfortable. So I was stuck between like Do I wear my contacts and do I put sunglasses on? Or do I not put sunglasses on and suffer and wear my glasses? So either option was just tragic for me because both of them just made me be in pain. But yeah, that was probably the worst side effect, just because you can't freaking see, you can't do anything. And then also, because of Accutane, normally side effects do go away. I would say for dry eyes, it kind of stayed, like even after I got off of it. Afterwards, like I could not wear my contacts. It was like so bad. I think up to last year, so up to 2 years later, I could not wear the same contacts that I was wearing like before I was on Accutane. My dermatologist did not help me with whatsoever, and eye doctors also didn't help me with which I really wish they did. I literally had to figure it out on myself, so pat on the back for me. Maybe I should have become an eye doctor. But if this happens to you where you literally cannot wear your contacts anymore while you're on Accutane, and even after you get off of it, change your contact type. So at the time before Accutane, I was wearing 2-week contacts, and then afterwards I wasn't able to. At first I thought it was the brand, so I switched the brand, nothing happened. And the thing is, I told my eye doctor I was on Accutane, I had really bad like dry eyes and how much my contacts bothered me, and he literally made it worse. Like, you cannot go to the doctor for anything. I thought the point of a doctor is for them to help, and he literally made it freaking worse. But I solved it thanks to myself, my own brain. If this happens to you, just get daily contacts. My eye doctor, after I was on 2-week ones, he put me on monthly ones, which is literally the worst thing you can do because my eyes are just like permanently sensitive. I cannot wear 2-week contacts or monthly contacts because I tried it, and what happened every single time was that, and before I was on Accutane, I was able to wear my contacts for like 12 hours a day, every single day, no problem. And then afterwards, if I wore my contacts for more than like 4 hours, they would bother me. And if I wore them for like 8 hours and for multiple days in a row, I would get pink eye, which isn't normal to get pink eye every single time you wear your contacts. So I switched to daily contacts, and that is what I now have to wear forever. And they are more expensive, which freaking sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, I guess the second worst side effect, you see, I don't know which one's worse. Was it the eyes or was it depression? But let's get into that now. So I didn't think I would get this side effect. I mean, I don't think anyone goes into Accutane expecting or wanting to be depressed, but I feel like it is very easy to happen if you have something in your life that triggers you, and that would like normally make you sad. It's just gonna hit you like a freaking truck. Like, it was really bad, really bad. And the reason for this was because what triggered my depression was that I got broken up with. That was a whole mess. Looking back at it now, 2 years post Accutane, not on, I mean, I feel like birth control makes me depressed too, but like, I'm still quite normal, I guess. Like, you know, it's not as bad. So looking back at it now, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I let that affect me as much as it did. It made me want to die. Now I'm thinking back at it and I'm like, oh, wanting to not be alive for a boy, like, no, you can miss me with that. That is not gonna be me. F that, never happening. I think that still would have been my mentality if I wasn't on Accutane, but because I was on Accutane and depression and, you know, mood swings is a side effect. Oh, mood swings, almost forgot. I had a lot of mood swings. I was like temporarily bipolar during Accutane. My mood swings were bad. That is also another side effect, but my depression was bad. Anyways, back to that. I feel like if I wasn't on Accutane, then I would have dealt with the breakup any like normal way. Obviously, still would have been sad and cried like everyone else, and like bad breakups are bad, but I wouldn't have wanted to die over it. Anyways, we have moved on past that. Here I am 2 years later. Thank goodness that didn't freaking get to me, because thinking about it now is so freaking ridiculous. But, you know, when you're depressed, like, you can't, it feels like you can't see past anything. Also, another thing, because of the depression, I had other side effects, like losing people that were close to me, my best friends. I was at the absolute lowest low that I have ever been in my life while I was on Accutane. If I wasn't going through a breakup, I feel like I would have been fine. I just would have had the mood swings, which were manageable. And here's another thing, is that if you are gonna be on Accutane, or if you know someone who is on it, just let them be. Please, please, for the love of God, please be supportive as you can be, because that's what they need. And that is something that I didn't have, which I feel like just made everything worse. And I feel like I should have, I don't know, all of my friends and family knew that I was on Accutane, but maybe I should have drilled it into their heads that depression is a side effect. And I think that kind of went over everyone's heads and didn't really think that that would happen, and forgot that that's something that is actually very real and can happen, even though I wasn't depressed before going on Accutane, because I was just not myself. Like during college, I absolutely loved going out. Like I was down to go out every single weekend and every day of that weekend. I literally once brought flashcards to a frat party. Like, I mean, I did good on that exam, but like, what? Like I was just always down to go out no matter what. And while I was on Accutane, that was the very last thing that I wanted to do. I feel like my friends were just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, come on, get up. And I just didn't. And I think they took it the wrong way, that I just didn't want to hang out with them. But I literally just found no joy into doing the things that I normally like doing, you know, which happens when you're depressed. Literally all I did was just sit in bed all day long and cried. Every little thing in my day made me cry. That's all I was doing, and that's all I wanted to do, was just to be in bed and be left alone. And I was very like antisocial during this time. Like I just didn't want to do anything. It was just a lot of effort to do things, and every time I was out and about, I would just get sad. It was just not good or fun. So if you are gonna be on it, let the people know in your life that like, hey, I might not be myself, like please be patient with me. Or if you know someone's gonna be on it, please be patient with them, be there for them. If they're not acting like themselves, it's because they are on a drug that is very freaking strong, that has the power to create a lot of side effects that, like, you know, really impacts a person. So I just wish that I had that support system where people didn't question like my state of being, in the sense of like not taking it the wrong way. Like if you know someone who's on it and all they want to do is just lay in bed all day long, let them lay in bed all day long. Don't take it personal, because it's not personal. It's not about you. They're just going through it. And I really was going through it heavy, and I felt like I had absolutely no one, and I just lost everyone that was close to me, and that made me more sad too, because it's like, well, now here's another freaking problem. I literally just didn't want to do things, and it wasn't for any particular reason. It was just that like I just wanted to be alone. I just wanted to be with myself and cry all day long. I just needed for that to be accepted. So yeah, if you know someone who is going through it, or maybe they're just not even on Accutane, maybe they're just depressed, sometimes the most that you can do for them is just being for them there in silence, and not taking things personal, and not leaving them, because that'll just make things worse and make them, you know, feel even worse. And nothing is personal 9 times out of 10. Like a lot of things happen to people and to your friends, especially as you get older, that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Like got their own shit that they're going through, and they need to be able to go through it. And the best thing you could do is just be there for them when they come back and when they bounce back and they are ready to be their normal selves again. So that was kind of a sad note. All in all, do I regret going on Accutane? Absolutely not. Would I do it again? If I could rewind back in time, yes, I would do it again. I would take the depression and extremely sensitive eyes again if that meant clear skin, because that worked freaking miracles. It worked wonders, and my skin, I don't think, would be where it is right now if it wasn't for that. Like maybe I could have found something. I feel like there's a lot of skincare routines and stuff online, but actually I don't even know, because I tried all of that. The thing with my acne was that it was something internal. Like internally there was something wrong with my body. Something was not okay. It needed a whole little cleanse, and that's what Accutane gave me. There are pros and cons to it, obviously, as we just went over. So I'm not advising anyone to go on Accutane or to not go on it. This is just my experience. Just wanted to share the side effects that I went through and just talk about how the experience is, and then do what you will with that information. But I hope this was helpful. I know it was helpful for me before I went on Accutane, and just trying to prepare myself as much as possible going into it. So if you are gonna go, through with it. Just keep your head up and take it from me, from someone who had side effects that hit them pretty bad, that it's all temporary and you just gotta push through for that 6 months and everything will be okay afterwards. So you got this. Also, for skincare, I would recommend Blistex and Vaseline for your lips. I would slather Vaseline every single night. It would look like I just got done eating a fried chicken wing. Like, it was like I put it on my skin too, not just my lips, which really helps because you will get cracked lips on the side if you don't. Also, never ever skip your skincare routine because your skin's gonna be so extremely freaking dry. I do recommend the CeraVe moisturizing lotion. Pack that on your face every single morning and every single night and you will be okay. And that concludes this video, I think. Said a lot out there. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.